The checkered flag has flown and the race is over, and we're going to rant a little bit about it. My name is RB Turner, and here with me is my co-host. Say your name, Kolby.
I'm Kolby.
He's Kolby Peterson, and we are here with, well, I'll let you guess.
Just starting to make a habit of this shit.
This is going to be changing to the Aaron Ryan show.
Jeez.
We've already started the rebranding process.
That's right. Right after we had hats made and everything, and now they just got to be a big. Change the circle there to a big number 7. And so I had something I was going to say right there, and I totally forgot what it was. But yeah. Anyways,
welcome back.
What's up, Aaron?
Well, thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now I remember what I was going to say. Anybody who's worried that we might run out of things to talk about with Mr. Ryan, just remember that we have Mr. Peterson, who never runs out of anything to say.
No,
so
never.
I'm not worried.
That's a fucking gold nugget right there, RB. God, that's good. You didn't even hint to that or nothing. All of a sudden, you're just like, well, Kolby never shuts the hell up, so we'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried, not even a little. So we'll have a show.
Oh man, right. Listen, Aaron, that track was slick and for no reason at all. And I'm ready for you to tell me exactly what I did wrong all night.
You hit the gas pedal too.
You tried to drive fast.
I was driving really slow.
That was most people. I mean, I don't know. My team practiced it, and it didn't feel that slick at all. Like we were running half a second faster. I mean, half a second faster than my fastest lap. Average lap, we were running a full second faster than where we ran during the actual race. Like
Unreal.
I practiced at 29.7.
I don't know.
And the race was like a 30.7.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, there's so many factors that could lay into it. It could have been because NASCAR's at COTA this week, and it's people say it's the tire model. It could have been that we have auto generation for the track grip, and maybe on the non-asphalt tracks, we need to make sure it generates a little bit more. Right. Maybe it was the fact that it was 82 and still kind of overcast, or maybe it's the fact that we could never get a green flag run to get the track established. Maybe that was it. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like no one could catch a break. Like, I don't know what one thing. It might have been a tiny piece of all those, because we've done ovals while NASCAR's at road courses before, and it hasn't been disastrous. I don't know, but that was rough.
I think we've done Bristol when NASCAR was at a road course, and we didn't have that much trouble with concrete.
Yeah, right. So I don't maybe, and we had some decent green flag runs if it was Bristol last time. I don't remember if it was last time or the time before, but like we had pretty solid green flag runs. So I don't know. Maybe it was everything combined. That was also our largest field ever. That could have been it too.
But thinking about it, I think the longest green flag run we had was maybe like 9 laps. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the first, when the green flag fell and the first caution came out. I think that was the longest one we had. Nobody had any time to really put any heat in their tires.
And we never get heat in your tires. We can never get the track established.
It seemed like every time we started putting rubber down, a caution came out, and then we picked it all right back up, right?
Yeah. Like I don't know.
And it got frustrating. I mean, and so I'm doing a new thing this year where I am. Well, I mean, I've done it most of the seasons, but like I'm on my own this season, right? I would be considered like a Wood Brothers S-Car 2 LPA. I run with those boys on the big tracks where drafting is a thing, and I'm a fifth.
Sister team.
Brother team.
But
some of these smaller tracks, I stay out of Discord. I'm not chatting with anybody. I'm minding my own business. And this particular track, it really did seem like if you even rolled into the gas 100 feet too soon, the rear end stepped out and there was no saving it. You could completely dump the throttle. You could roll back out of it the same pace you rolled into it. It didn't matter what you did. As soon as the rear end broke loose, you were gone.
Yeah, and I thought after the first few cautions, people would have kind of learned that. I thought they would have discovered it during practice, because I was trying to practice hot laps to, beat Steven for pole, because that's always the battle. And I was just like, there's 7 cars spun out in turn 2. Like, I can't practice a lap. I thought people would have. I mean, I get it. Track's difficult. I thought after the first few cautions, people would have kind of calmed down, but maybe they saw that as an opportunity for me to gain more positions, similar to Kansas last season, where that was just kind of straight chaos. And it's like, guys, we're in a death cycle right now. But I mean, I don't know. It was a pretty tough race. My said prior to the race goal is just to stay out of the hornet's nest, and I think I only battled for 2 laps total. There was like 1 lap with Darling when he was just making me nervous, causing me to make mistakes. And we talked a little bit after because he was like on my bumper, and I was just like, you were sending it deeper than I was, and you were kind of forcing me to mess up. And then I had a battle with Wendit, and then I think maybe the clean air just kind of caught him off guard a little bit because my car felt a lot better and he was drifting up a little bit, and then I kind of retook it after that. But that was it. That was like, it was like 2-3 laps of that. That was my whole race. I don't really feel like I earned that one, but I mean, I'll take it. Same thing as last week. I don't think I earned it, but I mean, a win's a win, I guess.
It did seem to turn into an awful lot of eye pacing, which is frustrating for anybody, whether you're leading or whether you're like me and we're between 17th and 27th the entire time. There's
You
a lot
don't
of
get
eye
a chance to
pacing.
learn the track.
No. Well, and I think going back to what you said about people losing patience, I really genuinely think that, I mean, I think there was an element of lack of patience. Like, I 100% agree with that. But I really think the track would just catch you off guard, right? Like, because I was lifting what felt like 100 yards before everybody else. I was getting back on the throttle as soon as my car was pointed straight. And even at that point, in fifth gear, coming off of turn 2, once we'd get 2 or 3 laps going, and I'd lift super early, brake just a little bit to get into the corner because I could really wrap the bottom if I hit my brake just right. And then as soon as the car was pointed straight, you'd get back on it. And if there was a car to your outside or a car directly behind you and you did that, that's what happened 2 of my 3.
I saw that happening to a lot of people where like it happened to Darling when I was on when he was trying to go for the lead. He was on the inside and I pinched him a little bit, but I didn't pinch him like crazy.
Right.
Me kind of just drifting on his outside. Maybe I took the air on him or maybe I packed it. I mean, I don't really know, but the rear end just kicked out.
I mean, I did it to Dana Shepard, and then Bosvert did it to me, and then the last one that really done me in, I don't know who was on my outside, but that was when I really lost it. I drove up into the wall about as hard as I think I was going faster into the wall than I was going into the corner. It was weird.
There were a few multiple times where I saw people, Atlanta, Kyle Larson, or me at North Wilkesboro and into the wall. If you guys remember that, me at North Wilkesboro, there were a few times where I saw that. And that
looked like death.
The amount of times that like people will like.
I don't know how you came back from that.
Angry driving. That was a bad race for me. I was driving angry. But like there was a lot of times where I have clean air, so the track feels different to me. I was never in the turn I was maybe 10% on the throttle and I didn't get on 100% until I was straight.
Right.
And I saw people, but the people behind me who were faster getting in my dirty air and it's slowing them down. The amount of times I saw them pushing to catch up to me and then overcorrect and they slam the wall at turn 4 must have been 4 or 5 times. Like the amount of times that I saw that, and there's always somebody else different behind me.
The big thing is there's 2 big things. One is for me personally, I wouldn't even start to get back on the gas until in 3 and 4 there's a little bump right there. And once I passed that bump, that's where I wouldn't even touch my throttle until I got past that. And then another thing is all the cautions that we had on iRacing, everybody is super aggressive. And when the green flag falls, because that's the best chance to gain as many spots as you can. And the track conditions just weren't meshing right with the amount of aggression going on,
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Well, and that's what it comes to. Like, you think that people after a first few cautions would kind of like be like, okay, I can't gas it. Maybe people need to approach it with a different mindset of, all right, well, I just want to survive lap 1. Just survive lap 1. And then if your pace is good, you'll let other people make the mistakes. Like when I pit and I drop back, when I did finally pit at like lap 90 and like half the field went with me, I came back at like 10th and I made, few passes, one caution, a few the next caution. It was like I just didn't want to force it. I didn't, I kind of poked. I tried to scare Brad, basically, trying to get a pass on him. I was trying to do that to people because they'd get so nervous they'd miss their braking zone and then they just drift up in turn 1 and 2. Makes it easier. So I just poked my nose in there and then I'd let off and I'd try to let other people make the mistakes. Like if I don't think the track is there or I'm not talented enough to be able to make a legitimate pass. Like I'm trying to get you to mess up so that I can pass you because I can't do it on my own. Right? Like
Junior.
I don't know. I mean, that was a rough one. I mean, I went back and rewatched it today and I think from lap like 95, I think we maybe had 5 green flag laps to the end. It was
How
horrible.
many caution?
It was awful.
24.
23, 24.
24, including
Yeah.
stage.
I turned it off and went to bed.
It is.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet because I had stuff to do this morning, but
I ain't even
I will
bothered
watch
trying to
it.
watch the rest of it, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, and I'll make my opinion. I'm sure it's gonna be like, damn, this really sucks, But
I don't.
it is what it is.
I don't really know. I mean, I was kind of speechless in my interview with Signature. I was like, he was talking. I was like, I don't really know what to say other than it's a combination of maybe it caught people off guard. Maybe it's like some drivers a failure to adapt. Maybe it's that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were so many people that just kept getting unlucky breaks of other drivers losing control. Maybe I don't know, but man, that was embarrassing. Like people got to get their stuff together, whether it's practice or adapting or just taking it easy. Like there was one point where Barr got a ton of damage and he was screaming. He was mad. And I was just like, just calm down, they'll mess up. You'll get back on the lead lap. Don't even worry. Just focus on getting your damage fixed. You'll get back on the lead lap. Don't push too hard, like a position at a time. People will mess up because people are messing up constantly. And he slowly got back up to the front. And it's like, it's the same thing with Jordan. Jordan was 7 laps down at one point.
He sure was.
Jordan was 7 laps
that guy
down
ended up in the
with
top 5
with 9 minutes of damage. And going into the white flag, he was second.
Yeah.
Like you
Good
just
job,
gotta
man.
calm,
Good job,
just take a breath, calm down, regroup, pull yourself back together. Yeah, I don't know. That was a rough one.
I think there's an irony of it too, because I don't know if you remember last week when we talked, we had this conversation about practice on ovals and how it seemed to be considerably less important than practicing the road courses.
Yeah.
Like I'll call myself out here. Like I got home Friday. I didn't plug my laptop back into my home setup to do that race until 5:30. Right? Like I never even tried to turn a lap because I'm like, it's an oval, it's Nashville, and then I think it took me 4 tries to run 1 lap when I first logged into our practice, and I was like, okay, like this is going to be frustrating. I'm a lay back. I'm just going to figure it out. I qualified 15th or 16th. And by the end of lap 3, I think I was in 9th. And I was like, like I'm either going to burn my stuff up and I'm going to end up, 25th by the end of the stage, or everybody else is taking it considerably easier than me. And then once that first caution fell, seemed like it was pretty well over from there, right? And like, I went a lap down, got my lap back, and then I stuffed it in the wall. Super cool. Loved every minute of that. So tell me, Aaron, when it comes to practicing and in these iRacing leagues, for the people that don't do this, that just listen to this because it's fun and we add some comedy relief, the idea of practicing seems ridiculous, right? Practicing a video game. But I don't think
to some people.
I don't think a lot of people understand just how legitimate the model is with iRacing. That does give it the simulator title, right? People get mad when you call it a game. People get mad when you call it a simulator. I call it both because I don't get too over dramatic about it. Speak to the legitimacy of the model when it comes to the tires and the aero and the car and how that works and why you're so good at it and why I'm not.
Dang, man.
Help me help.
Hell of a question.
It was like a 73-part question. I'm sorry about the long-windedness there.
It's
my
pretty.
fault.
It's pretty accurate. Like it is one thing. Like where when we started this league, yes, we do have the weather conditions set, and normally we try to set it to prior to the date of the actual race, which sometimes, depending on tracks, location-wise, that's extremely limited. You can't, we started this in the winter. You can't set a North Wilkesboro date in December, right? Like.
No.
The game literally won't let you do it. So we try to make it as easy to understand as possible. But one thing that I always try to be prepared for, and I'm not a pro at it, but I just try to keep in mind that it's real, is the track may never be like how you practiced it. Might change 10 laps in. Like as we went through the race, when we actually did get green flag runs, I was running faster and faster and faster. And I wasn't really driving any different. Like I wasn't pushing any different. We were just finally building grip on that bottom midline. Like, and at one point I ran a 30 flat, and I was sitting there thinking like, holy crap, that's way faster than I thought. But yet in our practice sessions, I was running a 29.5. Right? Like it's pretty realistic, and I wish I hope some drivers just learn to adapt with the track more often. Like, don't always try to drive fast. I was definitely not trying to drive fast, and when we go into a practice, I try to just get used to how the car feels. Like, whether it's on a +4, some are like defaulted to like +2, +4, 0. It's like, okay, is that where I want it to be? Does it feel more comfortable lower than that? Like, does it feel more comfortable higher than that? Okay, well, what happens if I drop my brake bias down? Like, I started the race at a brake bias at like 43, 44. Within like 4 or 5, I mean, qualifying, I ran at a 46, and within a few laps, like I was raising it and raising it and raising it because the rear end just kept coming out.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
was like, I need it. At this point, I'm like, I don't care how slow it makes me. I need it to stop. Like, I need the rear, I need the car. I need to be able to drive the car because it doesn't matter how fast I am if I can't not spin out. Oh, and in regards to like a non-driver, the track is that's the exciting thing that a lot of people who don't watch NASCAR don't understand is the tracks are constantly evolving. If we're constantly driving on the bottom line, the grip is going to build up and build up and build up, and at some point it may be looser on the high line, but it may be a little faster. When we have those long green flag runs, the track changes drastically, especially if there were points where there were during our race. The 1 and 2 was in cloud cover, and then 3 and 4 was in sunlight. And it's like when that happens, the track feels vastly different. And the only way that you're going to be able to tell that is by getting into a rhythm. If you can't run 2 laps the same, slow or fast, just at all, just the same, just in a rhythm, you're never going to be able to tell that.
Right.
So in regards to a driver's standpoint, I don't know, just take it like relax. You're not going to win the race on lap 1. Like, slow down.
You'll lose it.
You'll lose. A lot of people did. A lot of people lost the race very early on from a lack of patience. And there was one point where me and Darling were talking about it after the race. He was like, he got in way on my bumper. And I was like, I'm sitting there like wide-eyed, like he's going to ship me into turn 3. And he just wasn't expecting me to brake that soon. But if he's braking that late, I'm in the front. I'm out of the hornet's nest. I literally, the next time we went into 3, I went high to just let him go, which, I mean, he ended up getting a little loose on exit, pushing too hard, and I, came up on the outside, and then we were in 1 and going back into 1 and 2 side by side. Then he lost it underneath me, like we talked about earlier. But it's like just prioritizing your race. It's like I'm sitting here watching every single caution, looking in the rearview mirror, like, yep, there's smoke in turn 2 again. Don't know who that is.
That was me. It was me or Moquin. That was it.
Poor Moquin, he had a rough race. Everyone's entitled to a bad race.
His race was worse than mine, and I like when I tell you, and like y'all heard me, like I queued up. I says, Penguin, that's strike 3, I'm out. And he's like, I don't know how the penalties work. I'll talk to somebody. I'm like, all right, whatever. Y'all have a good one. And I did. I hung it up, and I was like, I don't suck this bad.
It was a challenge. That was a real challenging race. Like, I'm trying to give a lot of people a break because it was so challenging. I just kind of wish that some people would just slow down. The only reason I was running those laps was because of clean air. That wasn't because I was fast. I promise you. Like, Darlin was catching me. Wendit was catching me. The only reason Barr didn't catch me is because he had a ton of damage the last few laps of the race. That's the only reason he didn't get to me.
I feel like I would have got you too if I wouldn't have got pretty unlucky myself.
Yeah, I saw some of the clips of you getting involved in other people's business. There was one point where I don't remember how, but when it wrecked and then it like cascaded and hit Russell, and then it cascaded and hit you, and I was like, the whole team's there.
I mean, yeah, there was that.
Sorry to laugh, but I was like, you guys have similar paint schemes, and I'm like, they're all there. There's 3 RBs crashing in turn 3.
Man. I was hoping, somebody would think I was going to just steal a win that way, but no, we're just going to crash. We're just going to crash. And then, Brian and Ethan, that deal. And then Brad Dove getting loose on the outside of me, that deal.
And Brad Dove does not get loose.
No, he's
Ask him, he'll tell you.
I'm curious how he reacted when I tried to scare him on one of the restarts. I tried to make him think I was going to dive bomb him in turn 1 right at because like I had a good jump on him on the restart, and I immediately went to his inside, and I've like had maybe like a 1.5 feet on him, like just enough to where I was there, and I let off real early, and I saw him go flying into the turn. And I was like, oh, he's going to drift up. He's going to drift up. And then he slowed it down. He got it together. And then he thanked me after that for not sending it in on him. So I was curious what his in-chat reaction was to that.
He probably, I mean, there's a few times that you'll just hear a random dove, shit. And that was probably one of them.
I was just trying to trick him. I was like, I'm not risking dive bombing anybody in this track. I'm just trying to make you mess up.
Yeah. I've been in chat with Dove a few times, and it's equal parts whoops and you're an idiot. Like there's no in between.
There's a lot of you're an idiot. Too.
There is no in between.
Is that his saying when something happens? You're an idiot.
He said it over in chat, in game.
Yeah.
Penguin goes, hey, none of that.
Yeah, there was a few people that piped up, and Penguin did a good job dealing with it because
he did.
There was a few times where Davis is like, no, we're not dealing with it. I was like, Davis, we pay him. Just let him do it. Like, don't. I told him, I was like, you're dealing with your own shit right now. Like, deal with your race. When are you pitting? Can you make it? Let Penguin deal with that shit. Like, focus on yourself. Do you know when you're pitting? Is it this caution or the next one or the next caution after that? Which?
No, that's like I've been in chat with and it's not even just Dove. I hate to pick on the guy. I've been in chat with a handful of folks in our group, and it is equal parts whoops and equal parts you're an idiot, and those are the only two phrases that leave their mouth. And
I love the guy.
Not James, Dove's an easy one just because we all do an element of picking on Dove, But and the thing with Dove is whether you love him or hate him, the way that he drives is honest. Like I can't believe I'm saying this out loud on a platform that he's going to hear me give him some props. 7 out of 10 times, the way he drives generally gives him a halfway decent result.
People are scared of him.
That's when I tell y'all, I look in my relative and I see Dove as the next car behind me. I look at the time. If it's less than a second, you bet your ass the next corner I am just going high. Go on, Dove.
There was guys running in the top 5 last night when I'm looking at my relative and I seen, I'm sorry, Boz. Boz was running I think 4th. And I'm like, wow, look at Boz up here in 4th, man. Good for him. And I remember thinking, well, that's not going to last long though. And sure
Come
enough,
on, I was so sad. I was sad to see him lose it because, well, I was like, whoa, he's in second. I was like, hell yeah, all right. And then like two laps go by, and I was like, oh no, like I wanted him to stay up there. That was a good, he made a lot of progress going through the chaos. It's hard to get to the front through the hornet's nest.
I will give him props all day long, and I love you, boss. But yeah, I remember thinking like, yeah, he's probably gonna wreck.
I'm gonna try to just rapid fire just for fun. I'm sorry, everyone's name that I'm gonna list. The amount of people I saw spin out behind me. I saw. We'll get Pop out of the way. I saw Pop, Boz. I saw Darling. I saw Wennett. I saw Jamal. I don't remember if I saw Ethan spin out or not. I saw Barr. Well, not spin out. Barr saved it because he's real good at saving when the car gets out of control. But he definitely lost like 4 spots. That was pretty early on in the race. Like,
I remember seeing it. I remember the amount of damage that he had, and I'm like, good God, what happened to you? Holy hell.
That's why like I gave him a lot of props in my interview. I was like, these guys were both multiple laps down, like fast repair gone. There was one point where Barr was going into pits and I think he had 6-7 minutes of damage, knocking out like 40 seconds of it at a time. It's like slowly getting there. Like that shows the patience that they had in that race to get back through it, because that was a rough one. I think that was the most penalties we've ever handed out in a race before.
I mean,
it was a lot. It was a lot of cautions. Most cautions we've ever had, obviously.
Yeah,
maybe the most penalties. That's like 2 records we don't want to break right there.
We had 71 caution laps
out of 150 race laps.
That's almost half the race.
Yeah, a couple more laps. That's half of it. That's stupid. And I do want to point out one other thing, just because, for the amount of people, especially in AMP, if you're listening, there's only so many times you can block somebody before they just send you.
Yeah, that's why you gotta wait till the end to throw those.
Yes.
You get
you
one
don't block
good,
somebody
you
with
get
50
one
laps
late
to go.
block. But if you're blocking me and we're 80 to go,
yeah, dude,
I don't think you're gonna want to race around me for the next few laps because I'm pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if there's like 5 to go, but yeah, I know, Aaron, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, with
when we
50
say
laps to go, no.
When we say blocks, I don't mean I don't mean just like getting in front of someone, I mean like last second at the risk of spinning out, there is absolutely zero reason you need to do in that any less than 20 to go.
If you're running your line and I've been behind you for 2 or 3 laps and you run the same line, like I don't consider that blocking, right? And
if
now,
you're running the same line, no, not
now I will
not at all.
say that if you're going to run the same line, but I've already gotten a quarter panel to the inside of you, and then you try to set the corner and go down, and you spin out off my nose, that's your own problem.
Well, like,
and I've been in both situations of that, right? Like I've been the guy that spun off the nose. I've also been the guy that spun somebody off the nose, and like I claimed 3 cautions last night. I probably could have gotten away with claiming one of them and been fine.
yeah, we
Right.
were saying that in our chat. We're like, Kolby, why'd you claim that? That wasn't your fault.
I claimed the one with Dana because I was, so technically speaking, I was the second car. Technically speaking, so
If
it
you were
would
the
have been
second
my
car,
fault.
you shouldn't have claimed that anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. But then the second one, I got loose and then Boz ran me over. I claimed that one. I guess I felt, like, but the last one, I don't know. I think I probably could have gotten away without that one.
Going back to what you were saying about like even just a corner panel up, like that people unintentionally block, and I won't list any drivers, but I know a few people who run like egg-shaped turn.
Jordan Lane.
Well,
Sorry.
I do that sometimes.
People egg shape the turn, and it's like in practice laps, that's great. If you're running up front, do that. You cannot do that in the middle of the pack. Like you gotta know you cannot do that. Like
you just have to have track awareness.
You got like and
I don't mean to call out Jordan. Jordan is just impossible to pass.
It sounds that's because I teach him. I'm a pain in, dude. I'm
my ass,
I'm a
Aaron.
bitch to pass. Have you?
I know.
Like,
I tried passing you for 14th one time.
I can be a second and a half. I know.
That is Aaron Ryan Newman.
I put up a hell of a battle for that one fucking point.
God.
And that was more or less just because I was so pissed off with my race. But like if I'm trying to defend, you can be slower than you can. Like there was like Nashville last year, my tires were below 50%, and Steven had fresh tires, and he was struggling. Like I'm a bitch to pass. I see what line you're taking. I know how to get your car to drift up into the wall coming off of the turns. I'm guilty at that at Texas, Vegas, Charlotte. Those types of tracks where you're coming off fast. I am trying to get you to drift up and slam the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not. I try to not make it easy to pass, but I also know if you're faster than me, I'm not going to risk my race.
Right.
Like because at a certain point you're going to run out of patience. But yeah, like the egg shape, you can't do that in the middle of the pack, and so many people still do, and they're like, "You came down on me," and I was like, "He's underneath you." I don't know. I just see that so often, and I'm just like, well, there's certain drivers that when I'm around them, I'm just like, all right, well, I need to steer clear because they're not going to like give a shit if I'm near them or not. Like they're gonna run their line, and if I'm in their line, I will be moved.
I think, and so the fun joke of this is in season 2, Aaron and I were racing for literally 7th and 12th at Atlanta, and I had just come off pit road with brand new fresh tires.
It was Michigan.
Oh, was it Michigan?
It was Michigan because I fucked up my fuel strategy. And remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron's teammate at the time.
I felt bad.
Aaron's teammate at the time was leading the race, so I am in a battle with Aaron for 11th, and we're both racing around Cornette. And I know if I wreck Cornette, I'm going to get all of the angry messages, and he's going to scream at me over the radio,
and it's exploded on you.
It would have been a really bad deal. Okay, so I get past Cornette. And now I'm behind Aaron, and he screwed up his fuel strategy. I was in prime position for a top 10. It would have been my first top 10 in AMP. First top 10 ever in AMP.
But you had to go through Aaron.
But I had to try to pass Aaron, and Aaron's setting the corner high and coming across my nose, and I'm washing up. And then 2 laps later, I had like 15 or 20 lap fresher tires. And this is even before all the tire models changed. Like they weren't that big of a deal back then, but I was running a second a lap faster than Aaron for the first time in my life.
I kept giving him that dirty air on exit.
But he would come up, so he would wash across me on the entrance and then wash back up across me because I'd take the drift, but I could get back in the gas easier because I had the grip. And it took me 10 laps to pass Aaron. and I came up short of 10th place by 0.3 of a second.
You were so mad.
I sent him a message.
Rightfully.
I said, Aaron, my guy, I really like you. We get along really well. I'm so glad that we do that. But what the fuck, bro?
RB has sent me a message like that too. It was much calm. I make mistakes. Okay. The problem is when I drive. The problem is when I screw up my own race and it's nobody's fault but
you turn
my
into
own,
Denny Hamlin. You're like, you know what? Everybody else is coming with me.
Just pisses me because it's like no one's fault but my own, and it just makes me so mad. And then I drive angry, and I'm like, I'm gonna give every single person around me absolute hell.
Yeah,
well, and that was a bad strategy. I've learned that doesn't work out very well. Tends to piss people off. Remember that was a Darlington with you, RB. Remember that?
Darlington. But before I say that, I just want to say, Kolby, if you think that was bad, imagine trying to pass him for the lead. Go back and watch some of them old races and watch me. Like season 1. I don't remember how many races Aaron won, but I'm pretty sure I finished second to him every one of them.
I won 2 races in season 1. I led most of the laps, but that's when I didn't know how to save my stuff at all.
I know I had to finish second to him both those times, and I was trying to pass him, and it just wasn't because he was getting that high line off.
I know how to give you the
asshole.
I know.
Signature talks about it a lot, where he talks about guys setting the corner and getting that swooping entry, and he's like, "Listen, that's cool till somebody's on your bumper, and when they go down and you go across their nose, you're gonna be pissed." Mm-hmm. It's Kyle Larson towards the end of Atlanta the other day, last week. Like that's exactly what he did. Yeah, and I wasn't even at the end. That was for a stage, I think. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, but going back to Darlington real quick, because I do want to talk about that a little bit.
God, I blocked my own teammate multiple times for the lead too. I gave Barr a hard time, and even Signature was like, I think if he wasn't on your team, it would have given you a little bit harder of a time there.
Aaron screwed himself. I mean, he was fast. He was leading. He was way faster.
I made a bad pit strategy call, and I put myself in the back of the Hornet's nest because I thought I would pit earlier, and then I got caught up in the Hornet's nest on other people's business. And then essentially after that, like my fast repair was done, I got across in another crash, and after that I was like, all right, well now I'm just pissed. This sucks.
Well, I remember he had come out of the pits. It was a couple laps later, and I was behind him. I ended up passing him, and then Aaron just starts running into the back of me. And I'm like, whoa, man, what did I do? So I was like, oh, fuck this. I think I'm running like 9th or whatever, so I'm just go, man.
It's go. Again, it's for like a position that's like barely any points. Like I don't, it's just, and it happened. I mean, I'm guilty of it is when I mess up, when I drive my worst is when I mess up my own race and I end up driving angry. It's like North Wilkesboro last season. I led that whole goddamn race. And I Kyle Larson into the wall. What do you know? 3 laps later, I caused a wreck. Like I was just driving angry, and that's like, I mean, and I'm guilty of it. But when you're on the outside and I'm talking to my teammates, and they're getting mad, that's why I'm trying to I know how it's only going to get worse, and that's why I try to tell Davis and tell Jordan and tell Barr just take a breath, recoup, don't worry about them. Like if you drive anywhere like me when you're mad, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
That happens.
That's why
to me
I sent
every
a message.
Time.
I'm like, man, did I piss you off somehow? And he's just like, no, sir. And I'm like, oh, okay, just checking.
I see. I thought about it, and I was like, I responded, and I was like, man, I guess I was kind of driving like an asshole. And I think I messaged you back after that I was just mad at myself.
Yeah.
It's
that's how the message back that I got from Aaron went. I was like, dude, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
I'd never race around you. Now I'm behind you with 20-lap newer tires and you want to race like a jackass. Like, what are we doing?
If you're racing me towards the end of the race and I've ruined, not even me getting caught up in other people's crap, but if I ruined my own race, that is one of my flaws. I've got to stay calm because I just get madder and madder and madder. And I'm just like, every position is fighting for first. And I mean, I'm not perfect, but yeah, that happens sometimes. I think we've gotten better about that towards the end of last season.
Your statistics show that you only screw up maybe 20% of your races total over 4 seasons so far. Like, you're doing all right, bud.
I think I do a pretty good job of at least starting last season. First and second season I learned a lot. Last season I had the least incidents out of everyone who completed at least 90% of the races. And this season I technically don't have any incidents. All 3 of mine have been celebrating.
That's a pretty good record.
Yeah,
I don't
It's
know.
kind of hard to
that
get
must suck
incidents
for
when
you.
you're
That must
not
really
around
suck for
anybody.
you.
Well, it's like you learn,
Yeah.
you got to take a step back and like look at yourself sometimes and be like, okay, like, and the times when I learn is when people message me. Like
Right.
when you messaged me, it's like, okay, all right. So what the hell happened there? Why am I pissing someone off for 14th? Like
Right.
what this cannot be that serious. Like what am I doing? Like your race is already screwed. Don't just go around not making friends. That has no benefit. If it's the last lap of the race and you're racing for 15th, it's probably better to make a friend than to piss someone off.
Well,
Like think
I'm
of
all
big
for
picture.
every spot is every. If the best I could possibly get is
Thank you,
15th,
honey.
then damn it, I want to finish 15th. You know,
Did y'all see that?
I
Valerie
totally
trying to
get it.
hide her face behind a bush light like
I
it was
saw-
going to do
I saw her
anything.
face. I'll edit it out if she wants me to.
No, hell no, because that means you got to edit out words that you was saying. I appreciate this.
Well, I mean, I could put it just a big blur up right on your spot.
No, we don't want to do that either. She checks in every week. She pushes
But-
play and sets the phone down and walks away.
But yeah, I mean, I totally get, racing for any spot, it matters. If it matters, if the other guy is racing you just as hard, it matters to them just as much as it does to you.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with racing for 15th, even if you're going to end up taking yourself out. That's why I get, I don't understand when people get mad. I can't believe, you guys crashed racing for 15th. Well, I mean, it mattered to
Those
both
points
of
mean,
them.
I mean, those points do mean a lot for being in the mid pack. If you're having a bad day, they do mean a lot. It's more or less just you can do it, but just keep in mind, big picture sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like we're having a rough race. I'd never really raced around Dana Shepherd, yet so far this season. I mean, it's restrictor plate.
Which one is he?
I lagged out a road course, and then this one, and it's like I think he's in the 43 or the 47. I don't remember.
43.
But we came up to him, and he just got out of my way. Like no problem. And the first thing I thought, I was like, like my first impression of the guy. I was like, all right, well that's race. Okay, so he actually has some race etiquette. Like I don't know anything about the guy. I haven't raced with him at all, but it's like, just think big picture. Because when you go to the tracks where you need friends, it's pretty obvious who doesn't have any friends. And I think Daytona this year showed that because there were a lot of people who tried to take it 3 wide and they were just all by themselves. Not a single person wanted to go with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, every position does count. It's just sometimes it's like, and I'm sure the Cup guys think of this sometimes. It's like I got to race this jackass next week. Like, all right,
I mean, I think about that every week. I don't want to go out there and wreck nobody, piss them off, and I might be interviewing them tomorrow. I never know.
I might be interviewing them.
I get to a point anymore where it's like if my race is just so bad that I'm like a liability, I will run up in the marbles, I will hit the wall as long as I'm out of your way, just because it's so much easier to not get that message after the race of like, really, you're 3 laps down and you're fucking with me right now. Like, I mean, yeah, sure. Like,
that's a bad.
I don't have to do that. I run my line. You can figure out how to pass me since you're so fast. Aaron and I have had this discussion a whole bunch, and one-on-one and with other people, and it's like at the end of the day, and no matter how frustrated I've been either with Aaron or anybody else in the league, really, I always get out of the way, right? Like I'm not here to really ruin somebody's life. I've led 5 laps in this. Well, I've led I think 20 total laps in this league, and 14 of them were at Talladega one time when we went completely caution free, which sucked because I got shucked out and ended up losing the draft and then drove around 4 seconds slower than everybody for 70 something laps. But like for me, at the end of the day, I'm gonna let Aaron by because honestly, I might learn something when he passes me that's gonna help me pass other people. And I do the same thing with Steven. I will say, and Steven, I love you to death. When Aaron passes me, when I let Aaron by, Aaron doesn't touch me. Steven likes to rub up on my door a little bit, move me the rest of the way out of the way. Fuck you, Steven.
Steven is he drives hard. He's a clean driver, but he drives hard, and sometimes that hard driving, gets a little
love Steven to death. I tell him to go fuck himself all the time, and it's all out of love. It's not like me actually running my mouth.
I see the lapped car thing is a difficult conversation because
I hate it when
I
lap
fully
cars
understand that you don't have to move. It's not you don't have to.
Goes
No
back to what you're
rule.
saying. Make friends.
And
You
it's
might as well make friends because the restrictor plate, you're going to be
Yeah.
there eventually.
It's my argument on some tracks is well, most of the time when I get mad, it's that like I drove all the way around the track and caught you. It's gonna happen. Just don't get in my way. You don't have to move
Yeah.
off your line, but if I make a move and you go to block me, you're gonna get dumped. Like I drove around the and it's more or less just like be predictable and like RB said earlier, like race awareness.
Yeah.
If I was a second behind you, come like starting like one lap, and then before half of the lap, before we even get to the turn 3, I catch you, get out of the way. Like you're not gonna hold
Yeah.
me off. You're not gonna wait till the backstretch. Like I'm gonna be at your bumper way sooner. And I think that's what catches a lot of people off guard, especially just any lead lap car. It's they don't realize how fast they're catching you. Like you don't, and you plan on getting out of the way, but then a lot of guys wait till the last possible second to where it's inconveniencing them just as much as it's inconveniencing the leader. Like an experienced driver will move out of the way for a lead lap car without them affecting their own time. Like, front stretch. If you move to the high line, well, you're going to lose 2/10, a tenth on your lap.
Yeah.
And you're going to give you're going to give the leader the optimal line. And then by that time, you can still get into turn 1, in your rhythm. Like the experienced driver is going to let the leader by in a point where it doesn't inconvenience either of them. The inexperienced ones let the leader by when the leader is like sniffing their rear end.
Right.
And that's where a lot of the annoyance comes in. It's not that you didn't let me by or you want to or you don't want to. I mean, you should never throw a block on a leader. I mean, I know you want to stay on the lead lap, but that is like the fastest way to piss someone off. I think so. I can't think of a faster way to piss someone off other than throwing a block on the leader. So the patience is only going to last so long.
The only time
Yeah.
I'd really argue about it is it's like, okay, there's 5 laps to the stage.
If I know a caution's coming, then I'm gonna fight. Like
I might aggravate you a little bit so that I don't have to deal with the wave around at the stage.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I'm like it's a hard question because that's a situation where you could argue trying to stay on the lead lap.
But then there's a lot of things to take into account there. Like if the next car that you're going to lap is 5 seconds ahead of you and there's 5 laps left, okay, bye. I'll take the lucky dog, And at the end of the day, sometimes that's the smartest move because maybe there's somebody faster than you behind you that you can trap a lap down.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, somebody is going to stay out at the stage. It happened. It happened last night. It happened last night. There's somebody that's going to stay out. And yeah, you can trap some really fast cars a lap down that way for at least a couple laps, and like I would never, given this platform, I would never stand up and be like, no, block the leader. If you're trying to stay, I'm not that guy, right? And I think I've proven enough times that I'll get out of the way. Now, I might get out of the way when it works for me. I really don't care if it works for you or not. I'll get out of the way, But at the same time, it's like if I look in my relative and I see first and second has 0.3 of a second gap and we're 10 laps to the finish of the race, I don't want any part of that. That's bad television.
I mean, it just
some
comes
people
down
will
to
fight.
It comes down to race awareness ultimately. Where how close is the stage? Where's the next car lap down? Are you going to get your lap back immediately and not are you going to stay out at the stage so you don't burn up your tires? It's like race awareness. How fast is he catching me? Okay, if he does catch me, if I do want to let him by, where am I going to let him by to where I'm not losing any time so that I'm not battling with someone for the lucky dog? Like big picture. So many driver gets so focused on just in that moment. I'm running my own race. That's it. Like there's nothing else going on as I'm running my own race. It's like think about a lot more than just I'm racing.
Right.
Because like you're only going to hurt yourself. And I mean everyone's guilty of getting, tunnel vision, but yeah, I mean you can definitely tell the drivers that maybe not have more race etiquette, but are just more conscious of cars being around them.
Used to getting lapped every week.
Well, that's just you.
That's just me. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad we're all on the same page there.
I don't get lapped down. I'm not used to getting lapped down. That's why when Aaron laps me, that's why I go and screw up because I'm not used to it.
Gotcha. You're like, I'm already a lap down. Let's just ruin the whole thing. Steer right side.
That could have been bad. I would not have slept that night. if that would have happened.
I do think it's funny because, like Aaron, the couple of times we've had you, we've talked about the new faces, and I think a handful of the new faces are proving to be pretty tough customers. There's other new faces that
Some of them are kind of assholes.
Yeah,
That's
there's
with
that.
everybody, though. It's not fun if I like everyone. Are you kidding me?
Right?
I like everybody.
It's NASCAR. Like, you got to have people you
I
don't
got nothing
like.
against anybody. I will give props to the who's the I can't never remember that guy. Is Clinkhart?
Oh, Jacob Klinkhart.
Yeah,
He can run some burners.
He can run some
did.
real fast laps.
He ended up getting into me last night, and I still haven't looked at the replay. It may have even been my fault. I don't know. But he did send me a message. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry I got into you. I don't want to make any enemies and none of that." And I'm like, "No, dude, you're good."
Now he runs some really. He does run some really fast laps.
He got the pole in one of the races, didn't he?
Yeah, he got the pole at
was it Kansas?
Maybe it was Kansas. Maybe Moken got pole. I don't remember.
Moken got the win.
I think Klinkhart got pole at Kansas and then got wrecked on a restart.
Yeah, it was him and Dove.
And most people know Ryan. He's really fast. He's a hard racer, but he owns up to, it's nice. Like he's an apologetic dude. He's a fun guy to race. He's a hard racer, but
he was on the chat, and I think it was right after he wrecked Zook at the very end. He's like, "Dude, I fucking suck, man. I can't even believe this." I wrecked Zook, and I'm like, "Well, I mean, he'll get over it."
I mean,
You might shoot Zook a message because Zook will lose sleep over it. So just shoot him a message and be like, "Hey, brother, my bad."
Message, I think.
There was one point where he was apologizing to me it was early on in the race, like when we were still actually running some laps. And it was early on in the race, and he had the pace, and he kind of poked his nose on my inside. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. So I just took the outside, and it was in 3 and 4, and he drifted up. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll give you that one. And we went into 1 and 2, and he drifted up. And then we went into 3 and 4 again, and he drifted up. And then he cut in front of me because he drifted up so much because I lost the gas, and I slammed the back of him. And then I passed him back on the bottom, and he came over the radio and apologized. And I was still kind of hard focused, and not that I was actually angry at him, but in the moment, I was yelling at my fucking mic.
Say it.
It's just height of the moment stuff. Like he's a newer guy. He's a newer guy in the league, and it's easy to take cheap shots when you're in your own private chat. Everybody gets mad.
I do that.
And I have like
somebody does something to me, I cuss them.
It's like and he's a great racer. He was the one of the goddamn best pushers I've ever seen before in Daytona.
I remember watching the two of you take the outside and go by 19 cars, just the two of you, and end up first and second. I'm like, really?
But I feel like I shouldn't say it. But Ryan, it's all in love. I promise. I'm not mad at you. I was just mad in that about 10 seconds, and then it was over. And when that happened, and he chimed up on the radio and apologized, and I was like, yeah, this is what it's like racing in the fucking front. And then 10 seconds later, I was like, oh, maybe that was a little aggressive. Sorry. No, it's all love, Ryan. I like racing with you up front. It's the whole point of racing in the front is people get hot.
Yeah.
That's where moves start being made. But like Darlin, I messaged him a lot after the race. He was talking about us battling and pushing each other, and I was messing up. He's another new guy that's real fast. Ethan Thompson, the one with the win, man, on an extremely technical track with a lot of people. He's a really fast guy. He was up front most of yesterday. He just kept getting involved in crap. And his 16th place finish does not show like how fast he was. He was fast. He led 50. He led the second most laps during the race. He was a fast guy. But yeah, we got a lot of new people, and this is our second track to really show true pace, I think.
Yeah, another good one coming up, Richmond.
I've got a bad feeling about Richmond.
I may or may not make that one.
Richmond is a lot of fun. I think if you can figure out how to keep your throttle under control off of 2, I think Richmond's a lot of fun.
Go out and run some super late models on dirt.
I enjoyed Richmond last year.
That'll teach you throttle control.
I did not enjoy Richmond last year.
I led all but 3 laps.
That was when Steven tried to wreck you for the win, right?
I mean, he's just, I wouldn't say try to wreck me. He tried to give me a little bump going in 3.
He tries to wreck you for a win a lot.
We're two competitive guys. I don't blame him for it.
Nashville, Richmond.
There's times where I wish that I was that aggressive because I'm sure I probably would have had more wins. I don't blame anyone for it. I probably would have done the same thing. Try to give me a little, trying to shit
At the
me a little
same
bit.
time, though, Steven will take himself out to avoid wrecking Aaron.
That is a fact.
I've
That he
seen it
will. He's
happen.
done it on multiple occasions. He's a hard racer. He's a good racer, and I would expect nothing less from some of his caliber running second going into turn 3 at Richmond. If he doesn't try to go for it and give me a bump, I'm honestly going to be disappointed and surprised.
Like you were saying too, though, and getting back towards like the lap stuff a little bit. It's like, I mean, a guy gets out of your way on a road course, and then he might accidentally end up in front of you at Talladega. And I know
Might
that I
be a little more
know that
willing to push him then.
I know that you remember those moments because there's been plenty of times where I've been on the good end of Aaron being like, you know what, he doesn't completely suck as a human. Like, let's go to the front, And and the better that I get, especially at the drafting tracks, like I feel like I'm a lot more competitive drafting than I used to be because I understand it better now. I mean, if you look at the Clash and Daytona, I was top 10 a majority of the time and just ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time, but that's drafting. That's those tracks, right? I am certainly more interested in getting out of the way of people that are fair than people that aren't. You know what I mean? And so, and we can all laugh and joke about it, but there are just certain people that you get out of the way of because you respect them. There are people you get out of the way of because you know that they're going to drive another 2 or 3 spots and then hit the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, I completely agree with what you're saying. There's just, it's like you said, it's like, he's going to remember that I got out of the way here. Maybe he's going to be willing to push me. Or maybe if this guy didn't get out of your way, let's say next race, he's coming up to lap you. You may give him a hard time.
Yeah.
You may be like, hey, you remember last week? Well, we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna flip roles this time. But yeah, there are a lot of fun tracks coming up. RB, Richmond, Michigan, Texas, Iowa before the All-Star break. I think those are solid tracks. I think those are gonna be a lot of fun. Michigan is our fun fact of this week. The most average lead changes per race at 21. So if you don't think you have a shot, you have a shot at Michigan.
Hey, that's how many cars are used to be in the race.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's like if everybody in the race led a lap.
If we have 25, 27 cars, you have a better chance of leading a lap than not. I'm looking forward to Michigan personally because it seems to run a little bit like Kentucky in a way, and I had a pretty good race at Kentucky last season. I know it's just a titch bigger and stuff like that, but if you can figure out how to stay off the seams at Michigan, seems like you can have a pretty good day, and even for some folks that aren't used to it, you can run a top 10 if you can just mind your lane, mind your car placement, and like we've said 1,000 times tonight, if you can stay out of the hornet's nest, if you can find yourself a little spot to chill and give yourself enough time to react to what's in front of you and stay in front of what's behind you. I mean, Michigan's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep. And it can eat those tires too, so you gotta be careful.
I think drivers like RB are gonna kind of flourish in the next 3 races because we've had a few. I mean, Kansas, your tires matter. It's a lot more of your driving line, how you take the turn, how you enter. Wilkesboro, your tires matter, but it's the same thing. Your driving line. It's a lot. It's being smooth, getting good on exit. I mean, I don't really think I gave a crap about my tires at Wilkesboro the entire race because
I really didn't either. Like we were talking about it most of the time. I'm kind of a bottom feeder. I stayed on the top as much as I could at Wilkesboro because if I go to the bottom, I'm going to get passed by 6 guys. Mm-hmm. I'm like, screw that. I worked too hard to get up here.
In Richmond, Michigan, Texas, at least based off the last few times we've run them, they are like, it is obvious who's not saving their stuff. Or maybe not even just not saving. It's obvious who's burning it up.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, people like RB who take it a little easier at the beginning of the race, save their stuff, get a gauge on the race, are really going to kind of, if whatever happens Sunday doesn't happen. But, I think that's going to be a little more prevalent. And I don't know, maybe Nashville was a fluke. Maybe it was the track. Maybe it was that's the most people we've ever had. Maybe it's because we've got 8 rookies in our league at least. Maybe not rookies to iRacing, but rookies to this league. I mean, we've all been racing each other for a long time now.
I mean, y'all can pick me, but like I said, I was 3 when had 4.
Well, there was one caution, if you noticed in our penalties tab, like we didn't know who to blame it on. Because there was something going. There was an incident with Allen and Roberge in turn 3. There was incident with Zook in turn 2, and then in the middle of the backstretch, there were also people wrecking. And I'm like, no one,
At
no
any
one,
given lap, there's like 3 or 4 wrecks. The caution's coming out for one of them.
Yeah, and then like at that time, the caution didn't come out until like after everybody had got settled. So we're sitting there reviewing it, and I'm like, dude, I honestly don't know whose fault this is. Like, it could have been him going slow on track, but it's like it's not. It's one of those things where it's like there are so many people wrecking. I have no idea who to blame it on because every single one of those could have been cautions, and I can't just give penalties to 4 people, because they didn't claim. It's like if it's not clear, but it's.
And I think that's why I claimed what I did, was because I think I would rather claim it and take the 15 points, but claim it, than not claim 2 out of those 3 and end up with an EOL next week and an EOL the week after that, just trying to catch up on those points.
I mean, we institute. You won't get EOLs 2 weeks in a row. It'll all be the next week, but we instituted that rule because it was just we were having too many cautions, and there was no
Too many
consequences.
cautions brought out by the same people.
There was no consequences, and it was getting ridiculous. For it's like the second half of last season, and we kind of think of a way, and we kind of stole it a little bit from Chop Shop, but we kind of altered it a tiny bit because we didn't totally. We liked the idea. We didn't like the or at least Davis didn't want it to be the same. He wanted to change some of the penalties and stuff. But I mean, and I don't know. So far this season, it showed.
It
I mean,
has.
and I know Moquin apologized in chat, and everybody's entitled to a bad race. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not mad at him. I hope other people aren't, because sometimes you just have a fucking bad
race,
day, man. It happens, but it's like that's what it is. It's we're trying to eliminate the tons of cautions. We're trying to do it to encourage people to calm down, like slow down, relax, like And he had 4 cautions, and it didn't really go too well points wise if you saw the race results. But I mean, it's the goal is to just remind people, like, hey, this is your third, like, just chill out. You like calm down. Like, if you've caused 3 cautions, take a break. Like, relax. Just run your race. Try to just drive the car instead of push. But I mean, and I don't know. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe it'll be tweaked going into next season. I mean, it's the first time we've done this, but we're trying to limit the same people causing the same cautions. And that's not Moquin at all. This is the first race I've ever seen. The only race I've ever seen him have that bad of a race. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say he's one of those guys. Yeah. Like, I've never seen him have that bad of a race. Like, he just must have been having I don't even want to know what happened in his personal life, because he must have been having a horrible fucking day. I've never
this was a record. This was a record for me. Like 3, like, and again, we covered it. Like, I probably didn't need to claim all of them, but I mean, this was by far the worst race I had, and luckily, most of mine didn't ruin anybody's day.
Well, I know.
I finished last place.
The Sim 500 league. They don't have an actual like claim system, but they say, like, if you feel like you've caused 2 cautions, then we want you to park it. And that's 2 cautions. So Yikes. They have very little tolerance. So
I don't in theory that sounds great.
I mean, it rarely happens that somebody's causes more than
some
one.
races. You're going to end up with 12 cars by the end of it.
I don't want people racing scared the whole time. Like, I want people to still race.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
but like you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. We draw the line at 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. That's kind of extreme to me.
It's like, I mean, maybe that's too soon. I mean, I wasn't, that's the only time it's happened, race 5. I mean, if it's, like I said, those rules may change.
And we've established that was a rough
to be fair,
track.
In Chop Shop, I don't think I've ever seen anybody cause 4 cautions. And I've been racing Chop Shop for, not as long as AMP, but a good little bit, and I don't think I've seen anybody cause that many cautions until last night. So
I'm trying to give people a break for that track. I mean, I do
I'm not saying anything bad about Moquin or anybody else. I mean, the track, it was bad.
I do think there was a lack of just taking a breather.
I think there was a lack of patience.
Laps.
I think it was a patience issue, to be honest.
It's one of those death cycles where people are like, we're just having a ton of cautions. We're never going to be able to race. So that means I need to push even harder going into turn 1 and turn 2 so I can gain more positions and then cause the next caution. It's like,
I mean, even Ryan said that. He went in the pits and the tires are still 80-some%, and I'm still running the same lap times. And if anything, it feels better. I can run even harder now. And I'm like, I guess you can. But
Yeah, we were not
we seen
wearing
how that
tires.
worked out.
There was nothing there.
The car was turning by itself.
It was an ice skating
Yeah.
rink. You know what I mean?
Like when
At
we
least
were
that's what it felt
practicing, I
like.
was going from like 12 o'clock to maybe 9, 10 o'clock. When we started the race, I was going from 12 to like 11.
Yeah.
The car was turning on its own, and I was still raising the brake bias.
If anything,
It's
I
like,
was going 12 to 11, then back to 3.
Back to 3 because you're turning too much. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I give everyone a break on that one because we've never had a race that bad, and we have a lot of people, and I hope people would take that as like a learning experience, just like how I've had bad races. Just take it as a learning experience. Slow down.
Absolutely.
If you keep wrecking, sending it into turn 1 is probably not. Like, it's insanity doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Like, if you did it before and you crashed, it's probably going to happen again. People are still learning. It's early on in the season. It took a while for a lot of us to get used to racing with each other through all of season 1. Everyone's constantly learning, and that's all you can really take from it. It's just learn from it. It is what it is. It's over. That race is done with now. I didn't really learn anything from it other than just stay out of the hornet's nest. Stay out of the shit, and you might have a good race.
Learn how to qualify because I need to get up there
Same.
and just stay up there.
If I could learn how to run one fast lap, and
I'm sure you could run one.
well, I mean, and I have before. I've qualified in the top 10 multiple times at this point. It's just if I could figure out how to run a fast lap and then and like I'm learning quite a bit this season about my own racing, because like I feel like I've always had a relatively decent race etiquette, but that's because I watch enough racing to understand what I'm going through at the time. Like I don't sit here and pretend like I don't log in every week ready to win. Like I don't have that luxury. You know what I mean?
I always think it's possible I could win.
I'm a
I never do.
I'm a 15th place guy, and so when I come up short of 15th, I do get a little aggravated. It is not a good time, and it bothers me to an extent. But at the same time, this season, most importantly for me, is understanding how to just have a good time to an extent, right? And so this season for me, it's like, was this race last night was quite literally my worst race I've ever had from a performance standpoint. Like I've been wrecked out way earlier, but I didn't cause the caution. And what do? You got wrecked out. Damn it. You know what I mean? But as far as my own driving performance, this was by far the worst race I had. And I went to bed last night feeling pretty happy with the way I.
Hey, Russ got a top 10 this week.
Yeah.
He did?
He got 9th.
He got 9th.
Remember we gave him his spot back because he got
that's
those
right.
points at the very end.
I mean,
I got it in the chat. That's the first thing I said. I mean, because I had to make sure Russ was going to get his top 10.
I mean, that's all you really ever can do, and that's what it's hard to remember sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too. It's like everything's just look. It's just everything a learning experience. I've burned bridges myself with people over not keeping cool and not thinking clearly, and it's it takes a little while to get there, but eventually it's just like, okay, well, bigger picture, and that's why I always talk about it all the time. It's like just bigger picture. Think bigger picture, the people you're racing with, things like that. And it's hard. It is hard. And I think everybody's guilty of it to an extent. But it's just you just go into everything as a learning experience. It's like I've had races where I'm on one of Signature's most viewed highlights was a video of me just absolutely losing my shit last
Really?
season at Kansas. Like you can go on his Twitch and look at it. I am like screaming at the camera, and you know exactly what I'm saying. Like I am enunciating the cursing. And race later, I was like, God, that was fucking embarrassing. Like, I gotta calm down. Like, what the hell was that?
Kansas last season was bad.
Like, why was I that mad about this? Like, it's one fucking race. And then I'm sitting there and
that's every race.
then later on in the season, and it's like, the season went pretty fucking well for me. I don't know why I'm losing my mind over one race. And it's right after Richmond when I led all but 3 laps. And it's like, Aaron, relax. Like, you had one bad race.
Yeah.
Not to be screaming at every other car that you're around.
Passionate about it, That's I kind of understand it to an extent. Like I always, I know some people who aren't truly happy unless they're pissed off about something.
You just go off of what you can. improve. I've even in my own all my friends are pretty much here, like in this league. All of my real friends are in this league. I
agree.
I don't have any other friends here because I don't, and I'm sure you guys are aware, I don't really have a lot of patience. I look back at it and learn. That's about it. That's all you really can do.
Well, that's what I've said that a couple of times just on this podcast and the handful of episodes we've done. It's like I talked to y'all, specifically the two of you, more than I talked to my buddy Clint that lives 4 miles south of town. And, I genuinely spend more time in Discord in this chair than I do anywhere else. And I think there's something to be said about that. Like I've talked, when we had Aaron on, I can't remember if it was Daytona or if it was last week, but, I got on an airplane and flew to Charlotte and hung out with people I've never actually seen in real life for 4 days. And I don't think I've done anything to that magnitude with any of my friends here. And there's a handful of my friends in Utah that I consider really good friends that I spent more time with Aaron and Davis and Lane and those guys in one weekend than I spent with some of my friends in Utah ever. You know what I mean? That's the fun part about this league. And I'll stand on this, and some folks from Chop Shop are going to hear this, but Chop don't have that.
Little shots.
Sorry, Chop.
You should have seen the first time.
Some of those guys are pretty tight,
But as far as top league, I think Amp has that covered.
You should have seen when the first time that it was me, Davis, Jordan, got Duke, Nick. I don't think anybody else was there. The first time we'd all met, we all stayed at Zook's mom's house, and for like the first 2 hours, that was the most uncomfortable I think I've ever felt in my life. Just how awkward everyone was, because it's like the only time you'd seen him is in a camera, and it's like we're all with people we've never met before. It's like not one person feels uncomfortable.
Three-dimensional.
Everybody feels uncomfortable. And it's not because anybody's wrong doing it. It's just like normally there's like one or two guys, but it's like everybody, and no one's met each other. I met Tick at Zook's mom's restaurant without Zook there, so I met his mom before I met him. And then I'm in the parking lot, and Tick's texting me I'm here, and I'm like looking at him. Oh, that's you. Okay. Yes. Hi, I'm Aaron. It's like, is that him? I think that's him. I don't know. Why is he looking at me? I think that's him.
I think that's what made my experience so easy, was because a lot of y'all had been with each other before. So I was just the only new face, and I'm not built to be awkward. I will make friends with a brick wall if I have to. And so, I was on cloud 9 for weeks when I came home from that trip. That was an absolute blast, but again, I don't mean to take shots at Chop Shop. They run a great league, and I know some of them dudes are tight.
Some of them are. I mean, I don't. You're probably right to the extent like between everybody. I think probably just about everybody in the league could get in one Discord channel and have a fucking blast. I don't know if people in Chop Shop could do that. I know a lot of people in Chop Shop hate each other.
They do.
There's a few guys who would like, that I will rip your face off. Not me personally.
Yeah, statistically as a percentage, I bet 90% of AMP could be in the same Discord, and it would be fun if there was a way to control the chaos. Like if we had a talking stick, I think it could be fun.
It could be.
I'd say maybe 90%. I don't know. We've got our own villains in our league.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people. I know for a fact. I mean, we're guilty of it too. Not everybody likes each other. I know for a gosh darn fact, watching some, I'll just say media, that there are a few drivers out there in this league who fucking hate me. I know that's a goddamn fact. I won't say anybody's names or where I heard it from, but I know it's a fucking fact. And I mean, we're guilty of it too. Everyone's got their rivalries. I mean, we're competitive. Not everybody has to be friends. I don't have to be your friend. I just have to beat you on Sunday night.
That's all that matters.
As long as you keep my 7-year-old happy, I don't care. Yeah, my 7-year-old's got a favorite driver. He likes Aaron Ryan more than he likes Chase Elliott.
Being a Chase Elliott fan's painful right now.
Well, it's painful about 98% of the time.
I can't get over Daytona if Tyler Reddick keeps winning.
Yeah,
Tyler Reddick's gonna keep winning. Everybody says NASCAR is rigged. I was like, I think if NASCAR was rigged, then it would be Bubba Wallace winning, and not Tyler.
Yeah.
That's why they're making you think it's not rigged, because Bubba Wallace is second in the standings.
Well,
That's the ploy.
you might be onto something with that one. You're like, well, they're gonna really know.
Riley
it's rigged if
Herbst
Bubba wins.
is the secret NASCAR executive. You notice he wrecks every week.
Hey,
I don't think NASCAR would have ever recovered if he won the Daytona 500. Herbst had the run. If he would have just been another foot clear of Keselowski, I think he would have won the 500.
If he would have had some more skill, he would have.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying he was there. And I feel like that's all you can ask for with those tracks, and that's a lot of how I have kind of adopted it, is if you can just be in the picture, if you can be in the camera shot on the last 200 yards, I think that's a pretty good day, especially on drafting tracks. And
I watched Dale Earnhardt go from 30th to 1st at Talladega all by himself.
That's because you're old,
the middle of the track, no drafting, no nothing. He had cars on one side, cars on the other side. He's all by himself driving up the middle at Talladega, and that was, I believe, that was his last win in 2000.
Shout out to ECR engines.
They were the shit back then.
Well, yeah, I could argue they still are. I mean, a handful of cars out there running ECR are still running really well at those tracks. Listen, man, Aaron, this has been a good time. We ain't ever going to run out of something to talk about, especially if y'all keep me on here, RB.
Well, it's been, almost an hour and a half. So,
I mean, if the race wasn't so eventful, you could say, maybe we'd have less to talk about.
Helps.
That helps a lot. It helps a lot to have some sort of conversation about that. But yeah, no, thanks for having me. Three times now. Wrong. I thought I'd win a few races this year. I wasn't expecting this many this soon. But
now you're done. You ain't no more.
Yeah.
Swear to God, if you win again.
Oh, I'll be back. I have confidence in
bored.
myself. If I don't win a single race the rest of the season, we got major problems.
We do.
I don't know when. I don't know. I tend to put myself into position to luck myself into a lot of wins. So I'll be back in some lucky scenario somewhere.
It must be nice being God's favorite. That's all I have to say.
That's me in Brazil. I'm like, well, somebody's got to.
He's like somebody nice. I'll tell you what, Kolby. If he was God's favorite, he would have won a championship last year.
He said it. Oh, he said it.
Talk about painful topics.
I'm sorry, but
let's save that one for your next win, Aaron.
Favorite.
We'll just knock you right off the pedestal and talk about last year's championship.
I just want to go up bars saying I want to break your son's heart.
Yep, he did. He said that in Discord 3 hours before the race.
And I wouldn't have anyone else break his heart other than him.
Yeah.
If anyone could do it. I don't have a championship, but I have the highest average finish, lowest average incidents. I have 9 more wins than anybody else in AMP. I'm almost have 2,000 laps led, so I'll take it.
I'd probably keep that. With that being said, how about you give your shout outs, asshole?
Shout out to all the little people that I had to run over to get here.
Shout out to every single driver that wrecked at Nashville.
Copy. Heard that loud and clear.
You made me not have to battle anyone, and I got real good at going 45 miles an hour.
Jesus
you
Christ.
You probably just won the slowest average lap race.
You might want to look into that for a new fun fact.
I got a lot of practice on restarts. And then shout out to Nicole. We were watching a movie and she let me do this. And she got me jewel pods while we were doing this. So
hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hell, I'll shout out Nicole. That woman is salt of the earth. I don't know how your lacking patience ass caught that one.
She gets pissed off at me sometimes.
Does she? I bet she does too.
I'm not a good listener. Thanks for having me on here again. Anybody's watching, please give, subscribe, share, give a sponsor. Anything and everything is appreciated. And then, RB, tell them about the merch that you got going on. What are you wearing?
Man, it's my cool down.
Show it to the camera. Yeah, the Cool Down Lap Cop podcast.
Got the shirt. Got a bunch of colors too.
Is that posted yet? Or are you still working on that?
It will be posted in the description of this video, and I'm also probably going to put it on the Discord as well.
All right, yeah. Go get some of those. I want to get that hat. The hats are, if you can't see it from the camera, they're embroidered. So that ain't no fucking Temu hat. It's good shit. It's not from Temu. It's not from a warehouse in China. Their merch, subscribe. Yeah. Thanks for having me again. Hopefully you'll have somebody. I'm sure that your viewers would like to see somebody different next week. But I hope I talk to you again next week. So we'll see.
The odds are in your favor, Aaron.
Based off the stats, they are.
If I'm in Vegas, I'm betting on Aaron.
Every fucking
Not last year in Vegas, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I said, we'll talk about that next time.
God, I don't want to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
Well, I do need to say real quick, because I want to give a shout out to Race Wrap Guy Designs. If you want your iRacing car to look like it belongs on Sunday, Race Wrap Guy Designs custom sim wraps with real world NASCAR experience. Clean, aggressive, and professional. It is give that guy a shout out. The link to all of the link to how you can get at him will be in the description of this video. So yeah, if you are in need of some custom wraps, hit him up, man.
Yeah, that's huge. A
That
little bit
is
of new
huge.
news, not to steal anything from Travis and Jason Kelsey. You boys actually got a sponsor.
Hell yeah.
That's
Race
what's
Wrap
up.
Guys. A shout out to Christopher Darling putting that together for us. Shout out to Aaron for putting it in, speaking it into existence, helping us out. Also, to Christopher Darling, sounds like he totaled a vehicle between the first time we talked to him and the time he got back to us to actually shoot us a sponsorship interest. All the prayers and blessings to his family. And I don't know how this is ridiculous. The love and attention that we're getting from the league, we appreciate that. I don't think any of y'all understand just how much it means to us for y'all to participate in something like this from a viewership standpoint, especially when you listen to a jackass like me talk for an hour and a half a week. Bless your hearts in the nicest way, not the Texas way, like the actual good South way. Like bless your hearts. And this thing is gonna get some traction, I think, man. Like that's what we're trying to do here. um, is give everybody an outlet to visit and speak, and we appreciate it, man. And again, to double down, shout out to Race Wrap Guys, Chris Darling, and the AMP Racing League. We literally would not have a show without AMP Racing League. I think it's very important that we point that out. We could talk a whole bunch of iRacing statistics and all kinds of other races. I know that between me and RB, just the two of us, we're racing 7 nights a week in something, but we call AMP Racing League home, and we appreciate them for letting us do this. They promote us in Discord. They do a great job with that. RB does all the hard things. Shout out again, RB, for doing all the hard stuff, because I am not talented. I just know how to run my mouth.
It's all right, RB. Every group needs to have an accountant.
Right.
I'm that guy. I get it. Yeah, but no, I'm happy for you guys. I love the podcast. I listen to it every week. What I mean, I don't really listen to it when I'm in it because so, I listen to it when I'm not in it.
Right.
I hope for y'all's sake I'm not here more often, but I hope for my sake that I am. So no doubling, no problem there. But yeah,
we'll
no,
have a
I'm.
show regardless. If people want
And
to
then
watch,
I'm
they can watch.
yeah, check out the link, get their merch. I know I will be. And then damn it, I was gonna say one more thing. What was I gonna say? Thank you, Christopher, so much. It sounds like you got some pretty hard stuff going on right now. So thank you so much for giving them a sponsor. It's pretty awesome. Oh, and RB, you need to send me the logo, because now that we have like 18 boosts in Discord, we can do more things. And I want to put your logo on stuff. So send me the logo, whatever versions you have. Send all of them to me.
Yeah.
And then I'll do the thing that you asked me earlier too, Kolby.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's in time. Yeah, whenever you get time. You know how I am with that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say, hey, I need this, and then say you have a deadline. Absolutely not.
It'll only take me like probably 10 seconds, so it's all good.
Thanks for listening. Shout out to the listener. I think the probably second most important part of this deal. I mean, we can sit here and talk to everybody all week. Most important, I don't know. Y'all decide, but we couldn't do this without people clicking on it. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.